Info.
Nigeria Info.
This is Nigeria Info.
Hello, my name is Kimberly. I'm the host of Hard Facts, and I bring you the biggest stories driving conversation every weekday here on 95.1 Nigeria Info Hard Fact Show. I love to get your opinion and conjectures, but the facts you cannot dispute here on Hard Facts. Join me and let's talk.
I was waiting, I was like, man, SWAT will soon be signing out, and I've not
This is Nigeria Info.
brave the rain, or should I have my wig on and run? Should I remove my heels and wear my slippers? You know, all of those live changing question that can come in at one point, seriously. And, well, I'm here in summary. The rain kept me for some minutes, but I made it nonetheless. And thank you for your patience. For Stay With 95.1 Nigeria Info FM, talk. We're passionate. We are trustworthy. We bring you the best conversation every single day. And I'm sure you've been having the finest of conversation from the morning crossfire show, What's Happening in Abuja, and the Sunny Side show till this very moment. I'm yours truly, Kimberly Nwachukwu. Call me Kim. You be correct. Call me the Oracle, the digital Oracle. Call me the fellow OTF, Madam Speaker, and I will say yes to them all. And I'll be your host for the next 4 hours from here till 7. We'll have a great, amazing conversation together. And once I'm done, Football Frenzy will take over, and then Talk Night with Black Coffee up until 1 a.m. So there's plenty to talk about, plenty to look at, and I'm sure a lot of interesting perspective and dimensions that you're going to bring to the conversation today. I've just been told by my guest that he cannot make it. Held up in a meeting that just came up quite important. So it's just the two of us, you and I. We'll be looking at the stories together. I would reel out the stories, driving conversation, and I would, get to hear your perspective about these stories. And yes, we'll be streaming live on YouTube, as usual, at Nigeria Info ABJ. We'll also be on Facebook at Nigeria Info ABJ, so you can check us on YouTube and Facebook. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's important that you do, right? Thank you very much. If you haven't, please do. And on WhatsApp, you can send us messages and call the WhatsApp number also. The WhatsApp number is 0809 9930 137 to send your messages. I'll reel out the phone lines when we get started, so you get to know the line once it's time to officially open the phone lines. Laraba is here, says, well done, Vocal. Okay, that's for the Vocal Majesty. Enjoy heat-free day. It will be heat-free, most definitely, with the heavy rain. It was super intense, super intense. And there was a lot of low visibility. And we always encourage people so that you avoid, the situation where you ram into someone's vehicle and the likes of it. Once visibility is low, get off the road. Just park way off the road, safely off the road, and just stay there. Wait out the rain or the intensity of it to reduce, and then you continue your driving. But then you can't see clearly, and the rain is heavy, your wiper is weak, and then you just want to just keep moving. Come on, that's a recipe for disaster already. So for those people who didn't think about that today and you ran into each other, we saw you on the road though, but thank God nothing serious on the route I took to work today. So please, whenever it's raining heavily, safety first. Before wherever you're rushing to, make sure that you apply all safety measures as you drive. And yes, time for the roundtable. We'll take a look at some of the big stories driving conversation. We know that the results have been formally announced for Abia and Enugu State. Yesterday, they had to resume collation of results in Abia and Enugu State. Eventually announced the Labour Party for Abia State and Enugu State, PDP, won in that state eventually. Adamawa is still inconclusive, and once we get the update on what happens next, All right, not time for a break yet, so let's look at the first story. And Ekweremadu is in the news. We've been talking politics for a minute, and it just felt like it's been forgotten and the case completely forgotten. But the case has been on. We'll give you the update to that in a bit. After we talk about one of the biggest stories that we've been talking about for days, for weeks, as a matter of fact. We've been talking about it since last year. And that is the currency, the monetary policy, the Naira situation, the crunch, the tightening that we're feeling. And a lot of people were saying after elections, we're going to see money in circulation. Election finished and weren't so sure what the plan is anymore until the Nigerian Labour Congress decided, you know what, perhaps we should just do some arm twisting here. We need to just fast track whatever plan it is they have with a strike. And so they announced that next week, Wednesday, they were going to call a nationwide strike where workers were down tools as a result of the cash crunch because it was just too much. It's prolonged for so long. The Supreme Court has given an order, and yet the body language of the people who should ensure that they execute and follow through on the order by the judiciary are dilly-dallying. 1 minute they will tell you, all right, we've given the go-ahead. There will be money in circulation. Nobody's stopping the CBN. If you look at the statement put out by the president, then the CBN says they've given the banks the directive to transact with the old Naira. But yet there's no old Naira anywhere. A good number of these banks said they've deposited their money with the CBN, and the few ones they had with them, they've given them out. And then some of the banks are even reluctant to collect the old Naira note back, saying you have to go through the initial protocol set out by the CBN to have the old Naira notes back in the financial system. That's hand them back to the CBN. So it became a bit more confusing, and a lot of people refused to collect and accept the old Naira notes because they weren't quite sure what the position is. So NLC said, well, we are going to go on strike on that. And then we're seeing the Central Bank of Nigeria saying they finally concluded plans to release all the 1,500, 200 Naira note in its custody to deposit money banks, according to reports that is filtering in. Remember, until you see a formal statement from the CBN, sometimes you even want to be careful with coming from authoritative source, because the CBN has backtracked on, a directive in the first instance. I recall when the initial Supreme Court position there, and some banks started giving out the old note and accepting the old note. And then they put out a statement saying, they've not instructed any bank to accept the old note, that people still have to bring them through the CBN. So you want to also be careful with what is coming from what authoritative source until you see a formal statement. However, going by this report, it's expected that to end month of hardship and pain, Nigerians have been going through due to the controversial CBN Naira redesign policy that's caused severe shortage of Naira in circulation. Okay, let's go on a quick break. I'll take this after the commercial break. Stay with us.
This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info. Audio Jungle.
Hello, my name is Kimberly. I'm the host of Hard Facts, and I bring you the biggest stories driving conversation every weekday here on 95.1 Nigeria Info Hard Fact Show. I love to get your opinion and conjectures, but the facts you cannot dispute here on Hard Facts. Join me and let's talk.
Nothing breaks the news like the news. Trust me, I can prove it. I do it every morning on Morning Crossfire from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Nigeria Info 95.1, and I'm Femi D. Amede. Join the biggest conversation around the national politics every day in a way that is trustworthy, full of passion, and yes, covers the biggest politics and the stories that matter to you. See, you have all the reasons to find out what's going on in Nigeria and be engaged differently. Let's talk. That's the way to go, even this morning.
This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
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 From all kinds of authority, who are authorities within the corridors of the financial sector, would I say CBN, and saying that, in the coming days, would have money in circulation, cash that is, to avoid this planned protest by the Nigerian Labour Congress. And the NLC is working with all its affiliates. I mean, ASU is a part of it, TUC is a part of it. All of the union bodies that you think under the umbrella of the NLC and independent of it are also a part of this mother of all protest for next week. So to avoid that, we might just see more. The situation is still the same. People are still buying currency with currency. People no longer trust the use of the old currency, as it were. And so something urgent absolutely needs to be done. In spite of the directive by the CBN, why are we not seeing Naira in circulation? And what is it with it that the new one itself is also as limited as you can think of? It is so bad that even the lower denomination, 50 Naira, 10 Naira, 100 Naira, are equally as scarce, which is mind-boggling, really. And the fact that a lot of people are not depositing money back in the banks make it even more difficult. So the body language seemed like we just might, with this 1 week notice given by the NLC, see more cash in circulation. But where would the cash be coming from? If the initial position coming from certain individuals was that the money has been destroyed already, the old currency, we'll get to see. Are we going to see more of the old notes from their vault? Are we going to see more new notes injected into the system? How much volume in terms of percentage of cash will be back in circulation? Time will definitely tell. But I think that this 1 week strike is, proposed strike is enough to jumpstart, the CBN and the federal government to act, if they haven't acted, that is, with the Supreme Court directive. I will get your perspective on this particular story when we throw open the phone line. Now, let's catch up with Ekweremadu's case. Former Deputy Senate President has been found guilty, of organ trafficking by a United Kingdom court. His wife, Beatrice, and Obina Obeta, a doctor involved in the case, were also found guilty. And the jury found that they conspired to bring the 21-year-old at the center of the matter to London to exploit him for his kidney. And according to the UK Guardian, it is the first verdict of its kind under the Modern Slavery Act. Their daughter, Sonia, was, however, cleared of the charges. Ekweremadus were arrested by the London Metropolitan Police in 2002, June, that is, and they were alleged to have attempted to convince doctors at the Royal Free Hospital in London to perform an £80,000 transplant on the donor who was presented as Sonia's cousin. However, during the trial, the couple apologized for claiming that the donor was a relative. They lied that they were relatives where they are not. But some people will say, in Nigeria, everybody is your uncle and auntie, my cousin, and all of that. We always have that network relationship. But, in the UK, they don't understand. If you guys are not blood related, don't whip it up at all. So apparently that is something they had to apologize for. And Hugh Davis, the prosecutor who told the court the Ekweremadus and Obeta had treated the man and other potential donors as disposable asset spare parts for reward. He added that they entered an emotionally cold commercial transaction with the 21-year-old. We'll take your kidney, we'll give you money. To them, is interpreted as emotionally cold, as just a vessel with a part that they require to fix their daughter. Now, the prosecutor said Ekweremadu, a lawyer and lawmaker, agreed to reward someone for a kidney for his daughter, somebody in circumstances of poverty and from whom he distanced himself and made no inquiries, and with whom, for his own political protection, he wanted no direct contact. So that's apparently something used against him, the fact that you didn't even meet this guy like a human being who was going to give one of his very valuable organs to your daughter and then just connect with him on that human level. It was just purely transactional to saying, all right, but on another front, some would say is Oga at the top. Nigerian, there's always that disconnect between the haves and those who are not there. You need to be in that circle and the same tax bracket to even fraternize. So from the Nigerian perspective, some people might see that and say, all right, the big men actually are often not seen except in their big men circle. So being a politician, high up there, legislator, and all of that, just don't want to see someone who is giving an organ as long as you're paying him, which is a lot of strike, given the fact that he's a human being. It tells you also the value that is placed on life and how they see the fact that you're giving something, you're giving generously because you want to save someone's life, not because you were induced or went into a transaction for it. So what he agreed to do was not simply expedient in the clinical interest of his daughter, Sonia. It was exploitation. It was criminal, according to the prosecutor. It's no defense to say that he acted out of love for his daughter. Her clinical need cannot come at the expense of the exploitation of somebody else who is in poverty. And throughout the trial, Ekweremadu denied all accusation, maintained he was the victim of a scam. Obeta also denied the charge, claimed the man was not offered a reward for his kidney and was acting altruistically out of his own goodwill. Beatrice vehemently denied knowing anything about the purported conspiracy. Sonia did not enter any defense after presenting the court with medical report claiming she's unfit for trial. And Jeremy Johnson, the presiding judge, has reserved sentence to a later date. So, found guilty, sentenced to a later date, and we'll get to know. Now, we're going to see National Assembly, senators, what are they going to do? Swing into action. I mean, it's a case in the UK, and they have stated the ground in which he was found guilty. Quite an interesting one. And an eye-opening one also to looking at one. They say first of his kind under the modern-day slavery. Look at where he fell, the category of it. Treating this person not as a human being, but exploiting him for money. So they're not even looking at the fact that, okay, this 21-year-old might need this money. There's always a joke on the street of social media, like, how many do I have to give my kidney for this? It just feels like you can give this in exchange, but they don't joke like that in that part of the world, apparently. So, 2 stories down, 1 more to come. I will open up the phone line, seeing I don't have a guest, so that I don't go just on and on by myself. Feel free to call me up on 0700 951 0000. or 0809-5974869 or 0809-9930-137. Let's look at some of the comments we have already. On Facebook, good afternoon, Sister Kim. The NLC strike is a welcoming news, says Leopard. Leopard or Leopard. How is it pronounced? Tell me how you pronounce your name. Ozo Francis Namani says, watching live from Amagunze in Enugu State. Greetings from here. CBN should, as a matter of urgency, make fund available to commercial banks to address the heightened hardship and pain to which many Nigerians are going through at the moment. Clem says, good afternoon to you, the Oracle. How are you today? I'm fine, thank you. Monetary policy is really contradictory. May God help us. Joel Choji says, good afternoon. Looking colorful. Thank you very much. Irimiya Samuel Garam, I see you, Mukoro Henry also. Yaga-son says the monetary policy is gradually killing small businesses and we're getting frustrated already. Alkali Yakubu says, good afternoon. First time watching on Facebook Live from Central Area. You're welcome. Ekele Sunday says CBN should do fast though. The thing is no longer funny. And Yaga Son says, I'm watching live from Makurdi, the Benue State capital. Good to know. Hi, St. Felix. Good evening to you. Idowu Abraham, I see you. Joel Cyril, I see you. Demshak and quite a number of others on Facebook. Kanu Ijoma also sent a thought on Facebook. Asir Ibrahim Hajara, always number one. I mean, seriously, how do you do it? Shows that you're subscribed to us. Ebere Joseph Ani Ministry says, Kim the fellow DOTF, good afternoon. Welcome to the show. Gabriel Mali, I see you also. Asir Rabah says, the proposed strike by the NLC is long overdue. Better late than never. Nigerians have suffered more than enough because of the economic that is tanking. And Ige Abiodun says, it's so sad to hear someone of Ekweremadu's caliber could condescend so low as to involve himself in this kind of mess. Indeed, common sense, not so common. And Ekweremadu is gone to jail. Is it going to jail? How many years? They think Nigeria is, everywhere is like Nigeria, where you play things like football. Well, we don't know yet. They reserve the sentence into a later date, so we'll get to know how many years he will spend in prison. And I bet if it was Nigeria, do you think this case would have, gone to this extent? Would have given it our own Nigerian interpretation? Maybe. Maybe not. This whole thing of monetary exploitation and poverty, I would really like to look at cases we've had that have put, we have cases that have been interpreted with a lot of human face. But, this opened my eyes to how, value of life comes into looking at where the person starts economically and the fact that you can exploit poverty. And we always talk about poverty has been weaponized. Poverty has been exploited to a point that it's either a crime to be poor or an advantage for a certain few who can use it. And that's why when we're talking about monetary policy, I say, people are hungry, people are poor, there is no money. So they will even reduce it from 10,000 to 2,000 naira and people accept it. That's the exploitation that has gone on for so long that we need to start to correct and look at things from that human lens all the time. Adijat Mohammed says, seriously, Kim, this money scarcity is no longer funny. Election is overdue, gone. And we're still here where we were weeks before. Our economic managers are not trying at all. That's, Lola from Cairo. Thank you very much. So let's get to the phone lines. Hello.
Hello, Kimberly.
Yes, you are welcome.
How are you? Abubakar from Bawalada.
Good to hear from you.
Thank you. Very sincerely, the governor of Central Bank, Emefele, should face prosecution. He has committed economic criminal charges. His economy idea has sabotaged our economy totally. It has crippled the economy, sent people, millions of people into abject poverty. It's uncalled for. Nowhere in the wide world this kind of anti-people policy has been implemented. Nowhere. I don't know where he got this idea. A police should not go scot-free. He should face prosecution. It's beyond picketing civilian offices across the nation. It's a serious thing. And the e-payment is failing. Now somebody made payment for me since last Friday. Up to now, I have no cash.
Yeah.
It's not possible.
I feel you. I made a payment 3 days back to someone and surprised me by saying has not received it. I've been debited and all. So it tells you how
Thank you.
crazy the situation is. Thank you so much, Abubakar, for that. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Aha, I can hear you now. Good afternoon. Go ahead.
Yes, so this is Destiny Anthony.
Welcome, Destiny.
As for Mefele, I love what Abubakar, my brother, said. It's almost like the case of what did they even say, that they nailed him, leave the. If there are other corrupt people in the world, free them. But this one nailed him for us. That's just on the funny side because he has caused people pain. Kim, people have gone through a lot. I know businesses, just small bits like all this mama put. Many of them that I've not seen them for like 3 weeks, 2 weeks now because of this cash issue. So the main issue I want to comment on is the Ekweremadu case. I have no pity at all for him. No pity. Because if he had used his position and the wealth that he has used to amass all those houses to fix, let's just say, UNTH, Enugu, we have capable hands in Nigeria to do that kidney transplant. In fact, last night I was watching on the NTA, a particular doctor, one Nigerian guy, from Jos or somewhere, who has done over 100 kidney transplants in Nigeria and even heart surgery in Abuja here. So why is it around any small thing? Now he has money to carry his own daughter to Yankee. You picked a child from a poor home because it's poverty. From a poor home. How much can anybody offer any of his children to say, okay, we want to harvest your organ? How much? Because they have enough wealth now. So he has taken his own daughter to UK, picked another person's child to go harvest the organ to save his own daughter. And then whatever happened to the rest of us, they don't care. No pity at all.
All right.
Let him not even come back.
All right.
Thank you, dear.
Okay. Thank you very much. That is Destiny Anthony. Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon, the digital oracle.
Good afternoon. You're welcome.
Good afternoon, Abubakar and Destiny Anthony and Usam for God. I greet you all, the listener and callers of Nigerian Info. I want to say, in fact, Central Bank has put Nigeria into hardship. Many people lost their lives because they couldn't have access to their money. And still up to now, they have been promising and promising. Where are the money that we are, we don't talk of the other denomination of money, like 100 naira, 200 naira, 50 naira. In fact, you can't even find this money. You can imagine what people are going through. And this man will just come out and say sorry. So a lot of the people that have lost their livelihood, many people that have lost their work due to this money crunch, in fact, the government should do something. Just like what Abubakar said. We are waiting to see whether the next administration, what the action they will take about all this is. Nigeria are even finding it easy. I say I have been buying money for how many days? Even day before yesterday, was it about 3 days ago? I bought money and I discovered that there was even fake money among the money that I bought.
Oh, wow.
10,000 naira for 12,000 naira. And I discovered that, among that money, I discovered that 1,000 naira was fake. And which I quickly returned to the person. I said, this is the money you gave me. And you cross-check it and we made you understand that even that one of the money was fake. So the government should do the needful. Let them money, to make money available for Nigerians. People are suffering.
All right.
People are losing their jobs. People are losing their livelihood.
All right. Thank you very much. Let's hear another caller. Hello.
The Oracle
You're welcome.
in Digital Shrine. How are you, ma?
I'm fine and well. Welcome to the show.
Yes, I'm fine too. This is Dabang Bushe.
You're welcome, Elder.
I agree to my brother Salasi, Abubakar, Destiny Anthony, everybody. Destiny, don't allow this man to remain in that place. No place like home. If they make you, then they make it when they forgive him. When he come back, you don't suffer. Since last year, well, God will save you. God will hear his prayer. Kim.
Yeah?
Right now, as I'm talking to you, we have 2 color of 200 naira. 2 color of 500 naira and 2 color of 1,000 naira. Have you ever seen this thing anywhere in the world before? Maybe
Yes.
you don't see, you are a journalist and you travel everywhere. Where? Which country?
There are countries where they introduce certain money and you find the old and the new coexisting until one fizzles out eventually. So it's not strange.
And I said they get two color for like 3 currency like that. Now Nigeria, you go see that one. You see, when you test run a policy and you see that it's not favorable at all, the masses are suffering. Then the next thing you need to do is to withdraw the policy. But they feel so ashamed. They can't even come outside, both Buhari and Emefiele, and tell Nigeria that, so, you people should be spending old Naira notes back until December. They can't talk. They're not putting it to themselves. And they can't print the money. The money is not available. People are suffering. Scheme. People, they suffer. You see somebody trekking using leg. Sometimes I'll be driving, going to somewhere. I'll see some people trekking. I'll park. I say, are people going? They'll say, yes, because we don't get money. I met one of my boys the other day in somewhere. The guy said he has been there for the past 4 days because they don't get money to enter or to go back home. I say, what? I just went there and I saw the guy. And they need about 2,000 naira to go back home. Can you imagine? People are suffering. They are stranded everywhere. And you people cannot come outside and say, we are sorry. We need to reverse this policy. God will help us.
All right. Thank you very much. Hello. Hello. Good afternoon. Oops. Hello. All righty. Let's move on. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, you're welcome.
Good morning, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. I know the weather makes it look like it's evening already, but it's still afternoon.
Sorry, it's raining here. I don't know.
Go ahead. What's your name?
My name is Paul, calling from the.
Go ahead, Paul.
All right, ma'am. Thank you. I just want to comment on this thing. At earlier this day, I went to withdraw money at the POS. They were telling me 1,000 for 400. I think what? I got it free. Please, if there's any need, let those guys comply to us. Please and please, we are begging. Please, 400 for 1,000. Somebody is receiving 400 out of 1,000. Please, not. If there any please, let the government.
You cannot believe it. Like your head cannot even accept to that math. That means you come back with 600 naira. Wow.
Yes, ma, I got to take back at home now because even standing there, it was like, what am I doing? So I got to come back, ma.
All right. Indeed, it's serious. So, yeah, if you're just tuning in, it's the Roundtable. We're looking at some of the big stories driving conversation. We already talked about the NLC proposing, they're giving a 1-week warning. There'll be a strike next week because of the cash situation. And we're getting feelers that there just might be more money in circulation to beat the strike. If your protest is over the cash crunch, then we'll beat you to it and ensure there's more money in circulation. Now, how much will be injected into the system enough to assuage Nigerians and the NLC and the different unions that intend to hit the street in a week's time? Well, we'll get to see because people are still buying Naira in the country. We also did talk about Ekweremadu's case in London. Last year, Nigerians have been following, and some people have been following with bated breath, and I know family members and the real relatives, not the ones who are really related to him, and friends must have been praying for it. But the verdict came in today saying that he's been found guilty, and we have a later date in which we'd know what the verdict would be eventually in terms of goes to jail or not, time will tell. But looking at their argument, saying it was transactional, it wasn't altruistic, this 21-year-old who came to London with them to give his kidney. I mean, different countries and their rules. Their rules over there is you don't transact with things like that. It needs to be given voluntarily by a donor and without being cajoled or influenced or paid to do that. But they found plot holes in the story that was presented by the Ekweremadu, saying he wanted to just give, but 2 plus 2 is 4. And they did the math quite easily over there in London. Okay, one more story to look at for those who haven't called, just so you know. Protest is continuing, and in spite of the heavy rain today, it did not stop some who went out to protest as hundreds of aggrieved citizens under the aegis of the Free Nigeria movement defied the afternoon rain in Abuja, staged a protest march to the Court of Appeal to register their displeasure over what they describe as monumental fraud in the just concluded 2023 elections. The protest, led by Dr. Moses Paul, particularly accused the chairman of INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, of playing games with the conduct of the 2023 election. Wielding several placards, the protesters called on the Minister of Justice, or the Minister of Justice, and the Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, to prevail on President Buhari to cancel the 2023 elections and relieve Yakubu of his duties and replace him with a credible, competent person who would conduct fresh elections. They also want the president to set in motion plan for the formation of an interim national government. Boy, when last did you hear interim national government? You know, military and the transitioning. Yeah. So they're talking about an interim national government in case the judiciary is unable to conclude a presidential election before the 29th of May. Amongst the inscription on the placard brandished by the protesters, the Nigeria is not for sale. Why can't we have a free and fair election? And quite a number of them I cannot read on air. The street demonstration went on in spite of the rain, and it's not the first, the second, or the third of the protests that we're seeing over the outcome of the 2023 election. Perhaps will not be the last either. But we know that Labour Party has gone to court. PDP also tabled their petition, and it will be interesting to see how all of this pans out. Even on the state level, there are some of the candidates, the contenders on the state level, who are contending the outcome of this and saying they're going to court also. So it's not over yet. It's a long road, actually, which would be followed with interest. And we also get to see how people like the president-elect and governors-elect in the areas where they're contesting it are also going to go about their governance while all of this case is going on. And yes, a statement put out that the president-elect is somewhere heading to France to just relax. It's just been 150 days of campaigning. It'll take a toll on you if you're his age. Now, don't ask me his age, but it'll take a toll on anyone, actually. So it's going to unwind a little, touch base in London, and then go for Hajj while all of this is going on. Let's go back to the phone lines. Hello? Hello? Yes, you are welcome.
How are you?
I'm all right. And you?
You call me by the name Jafaru.
Welcome, Jafaru.
Okay. I want to talk about this Naira policy.
Go ahead.
You see this Naira policy. You should not start something that you cannot earn. For example, now, you can go to the market, you want to make transfer. The person that collects transfer do not have what you have. And the person that does not collect transfer have what you have. So what is the whole essence? Eh? You want to buy some petty things. They will tell you they don't collect transfer. They need cash. And the cash is nowhere to be found. This policy that the central bank governor brought, he himself do not know how to take himself out of this very trap that he has put himself. Please, let the financial experts in this country. After all, he is not the head of the economy in this country. The vice president is the head of economy. Let them remove this thing from his hand. We have the finance minister. The accountant general is there. The DG, debt management office, is there. Let them come and remove this thing from his hand. So people should take over. It is not by force that he must become central bank governor.
Not become, he is already.
Yeah, he's not the head of the economic policy. He's not the head of the team. So let the head of the team come in and take over. He's
all right.
Putting enough hardship to people in this country.
All right. All right, Jeff.
People are tired of this man.
All right, Jafaru, we sense it from your voice that you are one of those people. No, John Baba says Ekweremadu should go to jail straight. Olayode Joshua, if the case was interpreted in the Nigerian context, Ekweremadu can be anybody's uncle. God day. Yes, we're on Facebook at Nigeria Info ABJ and YouTube at Nigeria Info ABJ. Hello. Good afternoon.
Hello, Kim. Good afternoon.
You are welcome.
Thank you. My name is.
Your name is? Uh-oh. And, oh dear. All right, please call back. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, you're welcome.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
My name is Chris.
Your name is?
Chris.
Oh, Chris, go ahead.
Something you want to talk about this. I think
Chris.
you are getting to help them.
Chris, the connection is poor. I'm afraid I'll have to drop your call. Sorry about that. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, you're welcome.
Hello?
Yes, welcome.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good afternoon.
Welcome.
My name is Danjuma Isa.
Welcome, Danjuma.
Kim, what is happening with us in this country is we are paying the repercussion. We don't value what we have in the country. That is why God is viewing us like that. It's about Naira. All the time, if you want to market, they will tell you the Naira. Hello?
We're listening. Go ahead.
They will tell you the dollar is high. The dollar is high. Now the Naira is high. Now they are still crying. What they want the government to do. We know there is hardship, but it has time. It will come and pass. All of us are into the hardship, and we know it will come and pass.
All right.
In life, we must pass a difficult time and also a good time. So we should enjoy it, and we'll get it right.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I think we can take one more, and then we'll go for the news break. E.G. Daniel, I see you. To Andrew, Ekweremadu must reap what he sow. Vivian Unoka, seeing you live for the first time. It's amazing to say you and your voice look the same. All right, thank you very much. Mark Pam says, watching live from Jai. Beta Peterson, thank you very much. Anayo Onu, watching from Sabon, who said the NLC plan strike is a welcome development. Johnson says, I don't believe the NLC will pull this one off. They haven't been effective in years. They have a new leadership now. Hello?
Hello, Kim.
Yes, welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, my name is Ibrahim.
Welcome, Ibrahim.
Calling along Chelsea Road.
Okay.
Thank God it rained. The weather is cold, and we're enjoying it. Yeah, talking about the Naira crunch. I think on Naira redesign, to some extent, I am one of those people that appreciated the policy, and I was actually looking forward for it to be sustained. Why did I say so? We've been passing through different scenarios in this country. When fuel subsidy was removed some time back, we cried out and we went back to the same old policy. And up to today, we are suffering it. This one came. We started. After 2 months, 3 months, people have started adjusting to the system, and we are now going back to say, no, let's reverse it to the same order. Now, if we delay this thing till December 31st, what happens? Are we thinking of going back and follow the same thing that will pass through again? That is my concern. But to be candid with you, yes, policies are good. Implementation, how do you implement them? At times they are faulty. But we were able to endure to some extent. Why not allow it to thrive till maybe second, like Buhari said, the 200 will fade out in April. That is my concern. But we have gone back to December 31st now. God will help us. The reason why I'm saying this is we shouldn't go back to the same old story again in December. and
All
we
right.
start crying again.
All right then.
God help us.
God help
Thank
us
you, Kim.
indeed.
And you didn't honor that thing I sent to you when you were crying before Christmas. No problem.
Ah! Oh, it's your Ibrahim. Oh, no, I just remembered now. Thank you very much. I still have your number, so I will always come around. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Let's go on a very quick break for the news. Dorcas is seated for the news at the top of the hour. We'll take more and hear more from you after the news.